based around memory and using earth-based materials to speak on the concept of memory. Because I believe, and through experience, that memory is something that's ephemeral and something that will change throughout time, something that might dissipate, and I want that to be present in my materials and in my work. So for example, what you see here is a traditional Tonga fishing net called gazamba. And this gazamba right now is being made out of plastic because of the availability of materials and this disconnection from the soil. You know, it would be much easier for somebody who is making these fishing nets to have a knowledge of the trees, to go out and be able to select the fiber instead of travel like 50 to 60 kilometers to find this plastic, but we do, you know, because we have lost that connection. So I would like my work to sort of be an awakening of things that are already inbuilt within us. When I ask people about how they feel about the pieces, it's very personal, and that's what I'm trying to do, you know, is put the personal back into art. Especially in a space like this, there's a lot of commercial going on, and I'm trying to break that, you know, because we shouldn't be creating to sell. Yes, it's necessary because we live in a relentless capitalist system, but I'm creating to connect, you know, and to reconnect to myself and my roots and the roots of other people as well. You know, this is a space for conversing, you know, and for people to just come and commune. So a lot of my work is about nature and texture and actually feeling things. So contrary to other booths, my artwork is to be touched and to be interacted with, so very kinesthetic. I mean, people are quite literally leaving their marks in the soil, which I think is beautiful, because it's not just my artwork, it becomes everybody else's as they interact with it, which I think is a special thing, because we can all, you know, own a part of this without taking it home or exploiting it. And yeah, that's a bit of my work.
So the art I've seen from my peers has inspired me to make money and actually build a stronger collection, because it's like, you know, there's so much that people are offering, and you know, like I said, like it's quite thematically diverse. I'm seeing a lot of stuff I've never seen before. So there's that to tonight. And that's what I appreciate. So when I see works tonight, I'm like inspired to collect, as opposed to, you know, like looking at it in a way that is envious. There's a lot of interesting and you know, new people in the conversation of like what keeps the market healthy. So I think there's a lot of good stuff.
The most important thing about the migration of art from where it was very classist and very white, to Dada exhibiting at Joburg Art Fair, you know, Joburg Art Gallery. For me, there's a new education towards art, and the education is migrating everyone and being inclusive in every genre of economics and every genre of texture, from whether it could be painting, whether it could be fabric. So there's a migration and there's a union and a collaboration within art, all the creative art industries. For me, this is the amazing, beautiful beginning of an essence of what the history of Joburg used to be. A history of beyond the fires and the fire, a history that's tangible, a history that needs attention with her. As much as her whole work is based on Cape Town, and you can see the essence and the multicolor of what Joburg represents in language, in texture, in beauty, in everything that Joburg belongs to.
I think for me personally, as an emerging artist, or some might say established, I feel like it really just bridges the gap between emerging and established, and people to just have access to art, people who can learn about art, learn about culture, because a lot of us don't really get to be in spaces of this nature. So it's truly, truly beautiful to actually be able to be in places like this where you're so in awe everywhere you turn, because everything is just so incredible and inspirational and enticing. So yeah.
I mean, you know, different mediums kind of inspire, you know, us differently. I think film, visual art, music, all kind of, you know, different. I'm kind of very new to the, as much as I've done my own little studies on art, but I'm new to this world, you know, to where it's like, oh wow, that's the painter, that's the curator, that's the owner of the gallery, you know what I mean? That word's still new to me, but as far as like just looking at something on the wall and going, that's pretty, that's been since I was a child, you know? I mean, my thing is always, it's not what moves you, it's what stops you. Especially when you're walking around these spaces, it's like, it's not what moves you, it's what stops you. What goes, what is that, you know? And yeah, there's some things. I mean, the first day is for the people. The first day is to meet the artists, is to get a background on like the story, is to kind of get rationale. Second, third day, that's, you know, you bring the kids, let them look, you know, we look at stuff, and then, you know, we decide if we're gonna make that leap, you know, exactly. But, you know, knowing the little that I know about the art world, I know some of these pieces were bought 2 days ago before we got to see them, you know? So it is what it is, but you know. But I love how, you know, it's become incredibly diverse, you know? Like, it's really like, there's like, you know, gay art, there's, you know what I mean? Like a representative, you know? That's really cool. I think that, you know, I'd like to see more sculpture work. I really like sculpture work. I feel like, you know, there's something tactile and really like, that feels, you know what I mean, like about sculpture work, and I think there's less of that here, and I'd really like to see more sculpture work. That's why I love the Johannesburg Art Gallery, by the way, because they still have a lot of sculptures there. Yeah.
So I think everyone being here has added to the experience that's happening. I don't understand everything, but I'm told that's the point, and so something has to evoke you. And so I found a few pieces that's done that. And so I'm looking forward to learning more about it and reading and getting the context behind what's happening. So I think that's been my experience for now. But I guess also post-COVID, looking at how it's grown and everyone just coming out and immersing themselves in this, I'm feeling enriched. So I'm grateful, yeah.
Well, for me, the whole exhibition has been just a good experience. I think it's more than the art, you know what I mean? The art is part of the people, and also, you know, when you see something and you see a friend and you discuss it, you know, whereas when you see it by yourself, it's a different experience. So it's really been a good fair, I could say that. For me, what stood out is basically looking at some of, especially the photography for me, you know, I think that really relates a story, reading about it, and I mean, there was one art of pictures that are a little bit that side where, you know, when we looked at it, the first thing that I thought of was home, and it was just warmth around that, you know, picture, and that's beautiful to have in art, you know what I mean? You want something to make you feel something or remind you of something, and besides, you know, your normal pictures that you see every day. So it's been really a great experience, yeah.